Hey, what's going on YouTube? Appreciate you guys coming back and checking out my channel. I was editing some videos and I noticed this folder that said go through. I don't even really remember creating it. It was so long ago. But I noticed it was of me opening packages from like Amazon and for the parts I ordered for the pontoon boat. So it's going to be kind of choppy because I obviously talked a lot for each little thing I opened, so I tried to trim it down as much as I could. But I did want to say one thing. Looking at the analytics, which I haven't really done before, I noticed that the vast majority of my audience is a more mature audience, which I really appreciate. I noticed there haven't been a lot of comments, but on my About page I do have an email, and I've gotten several emails, so I appreciate those people reaching out. I've had some good conversations. But I did want to say thank you to Bonnie of Colorado. You know who you are. I really appreciate it. Just to fill you guys in, the rest of you, she reached out to me from her husband used to watch the videos of the Hunt and Land from way back, whatever it was, 6 or 7 years ago, and she actually wanted to help me out for the pontoon boat, so she's the one that actually bought the courtesy lights, so I really appreciate it. That video will be coming soon. They are installed, and it really made me feel really good. I've had emailed with her several times back and forth, so I really appreciate it. She didn't really want me to give a lot of information about her, so I understand that, but her husband used to watch my other videos and he really liked them, and unfortunately he passed away, I think she said 2 years ago. So when she saw that she was a subscriber, well, her husband, and saw that a new video popped up, she started watching them, and then she emailed me and asked if there was something she could do to help. So once again, Bonnie, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And she also helped me set up the Amazon wish list, or whatever it's called. It's in the About tab as well, so if anyone else wants to help me out, there's a bunch of stuff in there. I would really appreciate it, but it's not necessary. I'll eventually get everything in there, hopefully, and over time. But I don't want this video to be too long, and like I said, it's going to be kind of chopped up because I tried to trim it down. Looking at the analytics, it's, I think most of my viewers, about 16 minutes is all they can handle, so I'm going to, going forward, try to get them down to 16 minutes if possible, and I just might have to cut them up more to be able to do like part 1, part 2, things like that. But keep watching. I really appreciate it. You're about to see the packages I open, and I hope you enjoy it. But if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. You can hit that little bell for notifications. It'll actually notify you when I release one. If not, it's not that big of a deal. When you get on YouTube, it should have like a little thing on your subscription tab, like a little red thing. It will tell like the number of people you're subscribed to, how many videos were put out. You can click on that, and then it will show any new videos that I've released or anyone else you follow. So once again, I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this little clip of me opening all the stuff that I bought to install on the pontoon. Alright, take it easy. Thanks. This is like my hoard. I don't know if you can really see it. A lot of the stuff I already know what it is, but I'm going to show you. But some of the stuff that got delivered, I haven't really opened up the boxes to see, which I kind of know what was coming, because a lot of stuff I ordered and it was going to take a long time to get here. Plus, you know, I have a real job. I got real bills. This is kind of like a side project. So a lot of the stuff for the boat I had to wait until I got another check to go ahead and get, because I didn't want to put just like everything on credit cards and stuff. So anyway, let's go through some of this stuff. I got some like clamps and some heat shrink, because like whenever you do something for a boat, you want to get marine grade like wire and clips and all that stuff, and you definitely want to heat shrink it to make sure no moisture gets in there, because because if not, it'll eat up. Like regular wire that you use for like automotive or in a house is just pure copper. If it's not tinned, I mean, literally, like within a year, you'll start noticing some like green buildup, whatever it is. I don't know. But you know, I've been watching people to figure out how to do this because I have no experience whatsoever, and all the guys that do know what they're doing, they tell you exactly what to get. So that's kind of. I got a heat gun, which when I was having issues with the tape, I borrowed a heat gun from a friend to try to, because everyone was like, oh, all you gotta do is put some heat and that tape will pull right off, which it did not. But then again, it was on there for almost a year. So I got this to help with the shrink wrap. Bunch of butt connectors and more clips, because like especially running the two USB fast chargers, I'm going to link them together. So what I did is, like the one I already clipped the ends, so then I'll put a butt connector to connect it to this one, and then I ordered some T connectors where they just clamp onto the red and then the other one clamps onto the negative. So you have the positive and negative, and then those will have leads coming out that will actually go to the control panel or rocker switch actually in the console. So I got those. These are supposed to be the fast charging ones, which they had a good rating on Amazon, but after I got them, of course, everyone was like, oh, well, those tend to fry things if you don't get a little converter to go from 12 volts to 5. So I don't know. So still got to look into some more information about that, because some people you watch and they literally just, you watch them hook the stuff up. They don't really go into detail about what exactly they're doing or how they're doing it. But there are some that do, which I'm really appreciative of, because I wouldn't be able to do any of this without having watched a ton, and plus friends and family that knew kind of what they were doing. Because if you watch my first video, like I said, I have no experience doing any of this. Alright, we're done with that. This is awesome though. Got my steering wheel. Freaking love it. And the blue basically matches the seats and also the paint outside, or the outer paint. Let's see. Oh, this I went to, I can't remember. It was either Home Depot or Lowe's. They're like $60, but I found this one and it had like a 4-star rating, I think. If I remember correctly, it was only like $27. Anyway, this is what you use to install like the USBs or anything that has like an outer lip, so it will go into something. So like this will plug into the bottom of the hard seat right here, so when someone's sitting here they can plug in and charge their phone, put their phone in the cup holder, whatever. But this allows you to drill holes from no, it goes up to like 1 3/8 inch, and then I think it's as small as like a quarter. So that way you just find out whatever the diameter of thing you're hooking up, drill the hole, stick it in, and you got these little backer plates, that spindles that go and tighten it in there for you, and you shouldn't have any problem. Oh, this is the fuse box. So I got a little confused, and I'm still probably a little confused about, everyone does it a little bit different. A lot of them don't use fuse boxes, they use just inline fuses in the actual wire. So it'll have like a little fuse inside the wire, so that way if something goes wrong, you'll be able to know exactly. So if it's the USB and you have an inline fuse, that's the first thing you check. So where a fuse box, if the USB, as long as you got it labeled right, you should be able to go and check, pull that one fuse out. But at first, I thought I was going to have to use both, but I guess I talked to an electrician, and he said no. If you got a fuse box, you don't need the inline fuses. He did suggest putting a fuse switch on the main battery cable going to the fuse box, so that way if you get any surges or anything, it'll pop before it'll hit this and possibly blow out all those fuses. So I've never hooked up one of these before, but we're going to give it a shot when I do an electrical video, because there's a lot of wiring I need to do. I'm going to run speakers back here, speakers up there, the 2 USBs, new lights, overhead lights, the nav lights, and then I'm going to put courtesy lights, which now. So this is 10 gauge wire. This will go from my battery system into the console, and this is the 3-in-1, so I can strip the wire real easily and use the crimpers for the heat shrink, because regular crimpers will mess it up. Because I tested, because I have an old pair that I brought with me, so I did it on one of the heat shrink things and it just tore right through it. So I got this. So this doesn't have anything to do with electrical. This is the rapid remover. This is what one of the people suggested on YouTube, and when I saw him use it, it worked really good, but when I used it on the blue tape, it did not work. But I found it was actually, so after I used the airplane stripper or whatever it is, that would basically, you would paint on the tape, but I had a problem where it wouldn't peel off. Just like the blue part on top would peel off, but there would still be a bunch of glue, or tape glue left there, which I think I showed in the very first video. Anyway, I used the Goo B Gone, which did alright, but not great. So then I also got this too. You spray it on the glue part. If you use it for while the tape's still there, it doesn't really do anything. But if you do it just on the glue, you can pretty much spray, wait 60 seconds, and slide a razor, and it just comes right off. Which I got a lot of spots I gotta get done. The next thing, wire. So I went back and forth, because wire, everything right now is expensive. It's ridiculous. When I first got the Pontoon, I was looking through, I'm like, well, that's really not gonna be that expensive. I mean, stuff did add up, of course, but man, now everything is a lot higher. So I'm actually going to need like 5 of these, but I wanted to go ahead and get one in to hook up the rocker panel. Alright, so this is basically stuff that came in last night, so I haven't really gone through it yet. I did open the box, but then I was tired, and oh sweet, so these are the courtesy lights that will go, I don't know if you guys can see, I don't think I pointed the camera. Anyway, they'll go at the bottom of the seats. So I got 4 blue, and then I got 4 whites that obviously haven't come yet. So that way, if you're cruising lake at night and you got people walking around, instead of it just being pitch black or going by your nav lights, instead of having the overhead lights on all the time, you can turn blue, have that cool look. But then I also got some white ones that will be hooked to a separate switch to be able to see better. So, and these look like they're pretty simple, because you don't have to drill anything. You just screw them in, or you drill a little hole to put your positive and negative through, but other than that, it's just 2 screws to actually hold the light, like low profile. Oh, cool. So this is the rocker panel. So it's got also USB charger. So, but this will be mounted on the console, and I was thinking I didn't want people to always want to hook their phone to it and have wires going across. So that's why I got one for here and then one for up front, so I don't have to have that happen. I have a volt regulator or meter, so it shows you what your volts are. Okay, so anyway, if you saw the first video, I told you about me losing all, literally basically 32 gigabytes worth of filming from me scraping, painting, cleaning the pontoons, just all this crap over the course of time. I did get a card, and the last card was like a little small that you hook into, it's one of the little tiny SD cards that go into one of these, and then you plug it in. So I got one of these, and then alright, so let's moving on. Oh, cool. So I did not realize these had already come in. So these are you got your regular nav lights, like the red and green that you see on boats, and then I also got some like pretty nice, basically floodlights for the front of the boat. Which I don't know if I'm gonna be out much. I mean, I'm at night, but good to have. And I'm actually, the way these things are, which you can't see right now, but it's a real tiny bar that goes across that they have lights on right now. But they're like the old timey camper lights, like inside a camper. So they're not made for outside anyway. And even when you put in a new bulb, back when I had power going and everything, it was like there wasn't enough juice going to it because it was like barely any light at all. So I'm probably going to get these two, these as well, another set of these for 2 on the front, and then use as the overhead, but it's going to depend on how bright they actually are. So after I get these hooked up, I'll decide whether I'm going to order a couple more, because all the overhead lights I tried, they're just the way they're mounted. They're like long and slender and mounts on the outside, but they're all like 2 to 3 inches wide, where that bar going across is literally like a 1/4 of an inch. So with these, you can just drill a hole and use the little mounting bracket to go right through the middle, and then the 2 sides is what holds the actual light. So those should work as long as they're not too bright, or if I can find a set that you know, aren't too bright. Okay, so I think that's, oh, with that rocket paint, I got another one coming, so I'll actually have 10, because I counted up all the stuff I needed, which I think came to 7, but then I wanted to change one of these to where it's like a master switch, because it has this really cool blue backlight, but you really don't need that during the day, so you don't want it to run all the time. So if you go somewhere to eat, or you park on you know, a sandbar or beach or something, and you're listening to music, you don't want this drawing power as well. So I saw a couple of YouTube videos. Actually, I saw 3. All 3 of them do it differently. So I have another one coming that's just got the 5 set buttons that I'll put like maybe 1/8 of an inch below it when I mount it to the console. And then like this very first one, I think I'm going to have as a master switch, to where you have to turn it on for power to go to all of them. And then I think the very last one on the other side, for the second one, I'm going to put to where it'll cut off the blue light, so I don't have to have that on like during the day. At night it'd be pretty cool, but and plus you can see what buttons are what. But I have to see if I can figure that out. Like I said, everyone kind of does it differently. So if I can find 2 people that do the same, I'll do it that way. So last box. Oh, I know what these are. So these are the battery boxes for my battery bank, or bank with 2 batteries. So the house battery would be a one, then I have another one for the starter battery. They're actually going to go right here, and I got some screws that they'll actually, they have straps, and then they got lids over, so I'm going to screw them down, and then also have the other strap. And I'll inspect them, because basically every year you take them out, most people, because I have been around boats pretty much all my life, just never never fixing one up or doing electrical or anything, just basically getting in and riding. And you know, there's a switch, batteries on, batteries off, battery 1 or combined, stuff like that. Anyway, so you normally take them out and put them, you know, somewhere in the off season, so they're not just sitting in. But mine might be all right, because back, you know, I'll have that sun deck back here, so it will be open from the back side, but just no rain's going to be able to like rain down on it or anything, so I don't think any moisture's going to get in there. But if I ever get this in the water, then I'll kind of decide then if I'm going to take my batteries in, and if I end up keeping the pontoon, which most likely I'll use for the one season for sure, but I might have to use it for like 5 years to try to get my money back, because I don't know if I'll be able to sell it for as much as I'm putting into it. I don't want to talk about that right now. So yeah, that's the stuff. So be looking for those videos. Then hooking up the fuse box and the switch panels, and then probably showing how I wire up the courtesy lights,
USB, speakers, stereos, which is going to be the last thing I get. And just, it's probably going to be pretty laughable. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people in comments mentioning I did something wrong, which is good in a way, because if I did something really bad and it's like a fire hazard, please let me know.